Hello, so welcome back. This is part 2, and in this one I want to show you how you can put a rig together. So it's a personal preference. I actually rig from Modeler, so you can also do it in layout depending on what you're comfortable with. Let's rig this. I'll keep it short. So I'll come under setup, and under skeleton you can just click this skeleton and then you drag. So this is the mother bone. This will actually contain all the bones that are inside. So what I'll have to do is I'll rig on one side, then I'll mirror it. So I'll start first from here. So I'll click again. This is to make a child bone for this one. So this one will hold all the bones that are going to the top. So let's move. So here I'll put a bone. If you follow the spine, the way the spine looks like is it actually bends towards the stomach like this and then starts going back in this direction. We'll reach the neck, and for the head I'll create one bone here. So this is for the neck, and I'll create the head bone. So this one will contain all the other bones that goes especially like to the eyes. I don't usually put a bone that goes to the mouth because I create morphs for the mouth, so the mouth will be controlled by the morphs. So I'll just bring this one here. So at this point is where you want this part to be right in the center of the eye, like you bring it here. So you just, okay, not the center exactly, but just there, and then we'll bring this one out like this. So this is for the top part, and at this point you can just edit some parts. Oops, oh my goodness, that's another thing you can't undo. Oh crap. Okay, let me just do that real quick. Okay, so I'll just push space and let's go down. So from this neck here, I'll select this bone. So when you select a bone like this actually used to confuse me some time back. When you select a bone like this, the next time I say I want to create a skeleton, it will come from this one, but it will come from the head here. So meaning I need to create a shoulder bone here. And what actually I've noticed that helps is when you create something like this, the best is, one, keep your bones, your joints in between lines like this where your mesh was being divided, and just drag it down. So we'll make a small bone like this one, so that this one can control all the other bones inside. In case I have a problem, I can actually use that one. So let's just move this down so that we have, yeah. And now I'll go to the top view and just bring it here, and let's bring it here. So at this joint here, I've noticed it's actually best if you create two small bones in between here, and then after this, that's where you start creating your other fingers. So like we'll start with the index, and then you make 3. So you push space. Oops, before we push space, notice down here we also need to make sure these are in line. Okay, so you push space once you're happy, and you select this bone now. Oops, select this bone. So this will be the mother for all the fingers that are coming this side. So we just click skeleton, and then you start creating more. Okay, so one other thing that I should have mentioned is while you're putting your bones in there, it's not a very good idea to actually put your bones in the perspective, like you just come and click in here. It's not a very good idea, so don't try it. So at this point I'm happy with the top view. In case you have any problem, you want to change something, you can always go in point mode and then just drag and move your stuff, so you can just position them well. Okay, now let's go to the bottom part. So we still go to the mother bone. So this one I can still select this T and just move it, so depending on what size you want, deselect, and let's go into polygon mode and let's create bones down here. As usual, you grab like this, and then let's make a mother bone. So this one will be the mother for everything that is down. Let's just move down. So you come to the side here and let's just move it down. So this will be the hip. Let's just bring it here. Let's see, you can actually move it in front, not too much, and we can create one small bone here. Just create one here and go back this side, create one down here, and then two down here. All right, so now we can just fix them. Okay, that looks good. Push space, and basically in here we are done almost anyway, because we are just about to mirror the bones. So what we'll do is select. So what I'll have to do is select the bones, just the bones, deselect just the bones, push the closing bracket on your keyboard, and I'll just cut this and put it into another layer. So I already have a rig in here, don't be confused with my so what we'll do is select everything apart from what is in the middle. Shift V, then push N for numeric. So make sure in the x-axis it's 0, and push space, then question mark to deselect. And if we actually look at this, let's just turn on half of this, you would notice everything is in line, I think. Yeah, but that actually works. Make sure it's just on the center, the eye bone, make sure it's on the center. So now, I left out one bone, which is this one here. So let's just undo, select that bone, and then shift V, N for numeric. So make sure your mouse cursor is in the back view, space, question mark to deselect, and then push A to center everything. So I'll cut the rig and put it back in here. I'll save this, and now we can go to, let's go into layout now. So in my case, apparently it's like I opened two modelers. I don't know what happened, so it couldn't just I would have just gone to the corner here and just said send object to modeler, but instead I actually have to open send object to layout. Instead I have to open layout and then just look for the character itself. So here's the character, and just push this button here. Okay, so now in here, go under setup, and we come under bones and convert skeleton into bones. So we have the skeleton now, so the skeletons are now bones in here. So we can just zoom in. So now in here, to activate, like from the previous video, now to activate the IK booster, so we come under modify, and then down here IK booster, or the shortcut, which is Control B, and then right click and say apply IK booster. So now we have IK booster applied to this. So if you just grab and move, your character starts to move, but we don't want that. So using the knowledge that we actually had from the previous video, we can put an IK stop here, so that when I move this hand, it just moves on its own. And if we go to the other one, same thing, IK stop here. And for the legs, let's start first with the legs. IK stop, and this one here again, IK stop. So down here on the legs, we can fix these parts. So we can fix this and fix this, so that when we move it like this, it doesn't leave the ground, or we can actually play with it by grabbing the mother bone and then doing that. Another thing is, notice down here is when you click on these things, things are just changing like that. You can't get a proper menu. So we need a drop track. So this one, we come here, you get this kind of an arrow, and then you click on it and you get a drop track. So these things come as drop down menus now. So for a start, I want to get rid of these circles here. I don't like them. So you come here, options, let's see, options. So controller size, make sure this is at 0 and say okay, so that we have a clean looking rig. All right, so this is a basic working rig. You can put an IK stop even here, so that you can have your head moving on its own. It's actually a very fast rig, which you can use. Let's go in the next video and I explain more for these parts here, what they actually do.